shit, what can I tell you? In this business, if you apply yourself to certain things that are difficult at first, and you practice and practice, not just to get it right, practice till you can't get it wrong. Isn't that a little different? Everybody says they want it. Every time I come out, I say, I want it so bad. I live in a small town, but I want it so bad. I live in a small town, but I want to do supermodels. I want it so bad. This girl said to me a few years ago here, she says, I want to do photo shoots, but I live in a small town, and I want it so bad. I said, I got it, move. What's in your way? If it's a technique you haven't mastered, and I'll tell you right now, whatever can crawl in that doorway, you should be prepared for. I can't even say the word. And if you're scared of multicultural hair, watch your next walker to come in and have a texture hair that scares you. Your time right now is you have permission to practice. Designate time to play on a doll head and do things to make you good. If you have downtime in school, and most of you all still in school?
Yes.
You have a choice. Every day you go to school, you want to make sure every day you go. You want to get it done. I met a girl at one of the schools, and she goes, I've been going to day school for 4 years. I'm coming to work for you. I said, no, you're not. Why would I say such a thing? I don't know her. But if it took you 4 years to go through a year's course, I already know you'll be calling in every third Thursday with diarrhea. You know what I'm saying. People come for a job, I ask them questions, even in school. I can look at your performance in school and know a lot about you. Your average ticket, for example. I go in schools. I have kids in school with a $61 average ticket on a $17 haircut. The industry right now is only doing 41. Your take-home dollars, you call it retail. Now see, you think you're going to school. When you get out of school, we're going to wear makeup. When I'm out of school, I'll wear high heels. When I'm out of school, I'll be nice to guests. Isn't it the other way? Let's practice being nice to guests today. Knowing their name and using it, not where's my lady? Where's that old lady that came in? Where did we leave her? She's still under the hairdryer. How you meet and greet a client. It's not, come on back, I see you all the day. Come on back, and you take off. This poor lady in the Zimmer's trying to keep up with you. And to her, you all look the bloody same. She can't help with it. I don't know. Here's the fact I'll tell you about hairdressing. I'm going to do a show today. Yesterday I cut hair with a fork. I cut one head of hair with my hand. I didn't physically like Bruce Lee or something, but I put it on her head and cut around it. It was amazing. I'm going to do some crazy things today. But in the salon, what people really want is simple things. They want a bob, and guess what? They just want it even. They ask for layers. Can I have 3 like they come in a 6-pack? Forget Vogue and glamour and all the horse shit you hear about the trends. People who wear hair are quite simple and conservative. So how do you show off? It's by knowing a guest's name. What is your name? Megan. How you doing, Megan? Welcome to the Robert Comey Salon. Every single guest who comes into the salon gets a tour. So we show them all the ways they can celebrate their hair with us. Let's say Megan is just a haircut only. I take her into my color area, which we call a color bar, and I would say, Megan, this is where we celebrate hair color. What's Megan thinking of right now? Should I be celebrating hair color? Yes, you should, Megan. I take her around and I show her where we get to the wash house or lather lounge. What do we call it sometimes? The bowl. What are you, anorexic? The bowl. Hungover? The bowl. That's not very sexy dialogue. What about, let's go experience the lather lounge. Who's your daddy? We call it the salon, sex in the sinky. You think I get $300 for the way I cut hair? It's not. It's what goes on in the experience. It's about the experience of hair. And the great thing about you, you may not have years of cutting hair like me, but you can give great experience from hello. You can take the time with people. Know Megan's name, because the sweetest sound to everybody is her own name. And people say, oh, I'm bad with names. How many of you think you're bad with names? Right? This young man raised his hand. I don't know if I'm going to pick on you. You look a little bigger than me. I better use one of the girls. You've seen it in all the workplaces. One of your girls goes to a party, meets a guy at the bar for 2 seconds. The guy's name's Tony. What do they like the next day? They go, Tony, 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 Tony. You remember Amy's name you're interested in. So when you say you're bad with names, you just never committed to it. You're looking at which haircut do I know she can have. So I'm just saying, for me to know Megan's name, Megan, 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 I go to this retail sale, it's easy. I want to rebook her for 6 weeks, Megan. I believe for what we talked about, to maintain your hair, just the, you know, the confidence you get when it looks right. Let's go ahead and book that today, Megan. So that's very personal, doesn't it? You know, Starbucks built an empire on knowing a guy's name. People with no lives get Frappuccino for Fred, and he's like, I'm Fred. So happy. Simple things. Great shampoos. When I say who's a good shampooer, raise your hand if you think you're a good shampoo. Keep your hands up. These are the same people who think they're good kissers and dancers. I know. How do you know? How do you know? And I'll tell you how I know if I employ you. I'll see your indicator of new requests starting to rise. See, I use numbers to influence your behavior, not like your report card say, hey, let's see, you're not so smart. I'm saying every number you show me shows me who you are. Shows me what you do every day. So if I see a new request growing and people coming in demanding you, Megan, I'll be able to know that there's something you're doing every day that's making a difference. Because there's not a better way to build your business than people who already love you. We call them referrals. We make a t-shirt, I love referrals. You better love them too, if you're going to get busy. So who remember the first question I said you should ask a future employer?
What's your average ticket?
Second question.
Walk-in.
What's your walk-in count? That's going to make a big difference whether you're sitting around for 5 years like the Maytag man or getting busy to get better. With new technology and the internet and the way that we're starting to teach, you can learn everything that took me 25 years, perhaps in 5. And if you're busier than the average hairdresser, it'll take you even less time because you're working constantly. So you've got to get busy. So finding a price that fits getting busy, sometimes it's not being a $100 haircutter, because that's the furthest away from being busy. So if you really think about it, a smaller price, and sometimes you'll look at salons, well, they only charge this. Don't ever look at what they're charging and judge them. Because you might get a $20 haircut with a $40 color and have an average ticket with treatment of $80 a guest, even on a $20 haircut. I coach people how to speak on stage. We call it platform artistry. And one of the rules I follow, and you can think about this when you're talking to guests, fewer words, more meaning. So when I really look at future potential for you guys in the business, it would be fewer clients with more meaning. Fewer clients that have time to spend with you. You can take them through the whole experience of the salon, from haircut to hair color. Do you guys have tickets? It's $12. I'm on the other side. She's like, I can't see it, I don't think you're that good. Well, Dallas, make you holler. What do you guys know about me? No, well, we all know that. You can see what she knows. You saw me. How many of you seen our show yesterday? Did you see it? It's pretty awesome, right? I also work with a great team. That's a big part of being key when you make your first choice. See, I sometimes ask the question is, you don't usually marry the first guy that comes along. You kind of date a few. Some of my friends get on in harmony for kids. The reality is you want to make good choices here, and unfortunately for this, you can't make too many bad choices and get away with it because it's soiling your reputation. Meaning, if you take a job and it doesn't work out, then you take another job and it doesn't work out, and every time you're having an interview, you're like, well, these last people were crazy lunatics. How do you think these people are going to be? I think you'll be the same. See what I'm saying? I'm just saying you want to make the best choice of your life here. So my advice, if you've got a salon, you go and have an interview, go get your hair done there. See if they're nice. See if they work as a team. I love my job because I work with this big fat team that even if I'm having the worst day of my life, they're going to take me through it. In this world, you're as good as the people you get to hang with. So hanging and having a unit that you're working with, it's just 2 of you, 22, like you've seen in our show yesterday, as you'll see today. How many artists did we have on stage yesterday, Madonna? 7, 9? 9 front line, 7 or 8 in the back line. We work together. Every single person is in harmony with. That's what you want to find in a good salon. And maybe you want to be platform artists. You know, where you get a job in my platform is if you're successful in the salon. That success doesn't mean you did $1 million. Success was on building a business. You'd be the best teacher to teach others how to build a business. You could be the most incredible shampoo in the world, doing sex in the sinking, getting $50 tips. Even in school, you should start doing it. We do some, all of my wash houses are actually in dark rooms. There's no lights in there. Sometimes we do sugar scrub stuff, and we actually rinse hair with bottles of Perrier. That's how seriously we take it. I've really taken a client on an experience they'll never forget. You start that in school, you'll notice your tip jar filling up. So it's all an indicator. So if people are giving me $3 right now, what's your average tip in school right now? 2. Tip? You ever get tipped?
No, I don't know that school.
You're not, you just can't see if I was really this cute and charming. Who can tell me a number? What do you got on average tip in school?
5.
$5. I'm telling you, do what you should be doing. You should be seeing 10s, 20s, and 50s. I've seen people in my Vegas salons get $100 tips for a shampoo. So when I ask you the question, who's good at it, I'll say it, not just because they said that was nice. I'm saying, can you knock a person out? Can you stop their clock? And then comes in, as you take your time with it, can you do it in 3 minutes sometimes? That's what I'm after. Bedside manner, great conversation, positive words, reinforcing words. Keeping 80% of your conversation on our business. They're not your friends. My favorite movie ever was Jerry Maguire. He said something quite profound. It's not show friends, it's show business. I've had guests tell me they love me. And if ever I left, they would die. And if I mess up their hair once, there's not a lot of love in the building. You know, you can see that it's a business relationship, so you don't want to become their friend too quickly. You're my buddy, you're my pal. You cannot afford that because you lose your professional distance. So it's about keeping a professional distance with colleagues. Don't show up on the first day of work telling us about the 14 marriages you had. Save that for later. Think about every word that comes out. Are you by accident or on purpose? It's having a purpose to it as you do it and finding a place. School is a great journey. How many of you have already picked out where you're going to work when you get out of school? That's encouraging. You should already know. You're open to changing your mind along the journey. That's cool. But you should already know where you want to work. I used to deliver Paul Mitchell products in the back of a 1973 Ford Torino. It's like a poor man's Starsky and Hutch. So I went in through the back door and delivered Paul Mitchell product. So I got to see the salons and see what the team was like, so I was able to make a great choice. I'm just saying you should be out there looking, touring, interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you. There's lots of people who offer you a job. One of the most important things for people who join my organization is education. How many of you think that's important when you find a job? Okay. It's a commitment of learning. I was in South Africa 3, 4, 5 days ago, and a lady, 29 years in the business, sitting in the front row. So it's not, oh, I got this, I've got to stay bored, and I don't need to learn again. It's constant. And sometimes it's not even learning, it's just getting you re-inspired. Right now you're excited about doll heads. You're like, oh, look, I got a doll head. 5 years I'm going to give you a doll head, you're going to go, what the hell? I'm not touching that. You still haven't got the smell off my fingers from those years of doing it. See, you've got that great disposition right now. You're in love with every part of it, but there may come a time 10, 15 years ago you lose that. I'm more of a marriage counselor for hairdressers to make you fall back in love with what you've chosen. So it's a constant thing. It's a new technique, but it's also motivation. A lot of you that want to be platformers, you've got to pick a company that talks to your heart. I made a decision in beauty school to join Paul Mitchell. Now think about that. I didn't know anything about the beauty industry. I was in school 3 months, they showed me a video, Paul and JP, I'm in. And 25 years later, every dream I had in the beauty industry came true and some. So first, the company's got to talk to your heart. Okay, and I bet you've already had that experience with some people. So you kind of know where you belong. It's just one of those things. How did you work a job to go through school? You're going to love this. I delivered pizza. I look sexy in a Domino's outfit, let me tell you. It's a true story. Memphis, Tennessee. About maybe 6, 7 months through school. I'm also living in a duplex and doing my landlady's hair and their little hammer toe pedicure. All to help her love me and discount my rent $25 a month because it was that tight. You're working, going to school 9 to 5. As soon as you finish school, 6 o'clock, my shift started. I mean, it was tough. I remember thinking, is this ever going to get easy? It's so tough. And then on top of that, I'm home practicing styles and reading my lady and doing all this stuff. Well, this night in Memphis, I'm delivering a pizza, and out I go. And the guy's waiting at the front door, and I love that because I'm a lazy pizza guy. I want you to come meet me, right? You come on over. I've got your pizza. Waft, waft, waft. So as he comes out the door, he comes out, and he's got his hand in there. He's going for his wallet. I'm like, yeah, come on, Daddy, come on. But instead of pulling out his wallet, the guy brings out a gun. True story. Points it at my little head. Now, at first when he pointed it, I'd never seen a little gun. I just moved here from Scotland. The closest I came to was old Miami Vice, Tubbs, well, gun. So when he put the gun to my head, I heard a little rattle. Just like that. So I thought to myself, maybe that's not a real gun. But the next thing he says, give me the pizza. Well, I don't know about you, I'm not going to die for Domino's. I gladly gave him the pizza. He said, give me your money, and I had $37.50. $5 was the tip I had, the rest belonged to the company, so I gladly gave that over. The third one, He said, take off your pants. Which I said, hell no. But he hit me on top of the head with a gun, and I felt the weight of a